Welcome, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again for another success testimonial. It's Dawn here from Your Life Reinvented Hypnotherapy, and we're here today talking to Simon. Now, Simon just finished working with us a couple of weeks ago, and so he's offered to share a little bit of his experience working together with myself through our anxiety relief program. So thank you so much, Simon, for taking Sunday away from family to do this with me.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you. So, Simon, I guess I'm going to ask you a few questions here. So, for you, like, what motivated you to choose Your Life Reinvented Hypnotherapy and working with me to address the anxiety issues that you were experiencing?
Basically, I had done traditional therapies, probably going on 18 months, and I had a little success, intermittent success, I guess you could call it. And then I had a very stressful sort of change of life, new job patterns, new things were coming into my life, and I couldn't get a grip on it. And the tools, the methods that I was using in the past, it just wasn't working, wasn't cutting it. So I went to Google. I went looking, searching for help, and you came up. Dawn popped up as like number one, I guess, on the search.
Yeah.
So I came into contact, and then I did a little bit of more digging, obviously, as you want to be sure like this is something you want to do, and saw lots of success. And it was pretty easy at that point. I needed help. I was looking for help, and I didn't want to take another 18 months of wasted time potentially. So
Yeah.
I said, let's try it. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so for you, like, before working with us, what other strategies and approaches, because I know you said this has been going on and off for about 5 years, which is typical for anxiety symptoms. So like, what other approaches and strategies did you previously attempt to do other than traditional talk therapy to alleviate your anxiety? Could you share a little bit on that?
Sure. Yeah, I did exercise, diet, breathing exercises were probably the most important, most successful thing I learned. Um, just trying to be present, that whole thought process of just being positive and trying to drop the negativity. Um, lots of steps, like lots of the typical, just your water intake, your vitamins. There was a lot of that. And like I said, I did have intermittent success, and all of those changes are positive changes regardless of the outcome I was looking for. It's all that was all good. But yeah, when push came to shove, it just wasn't enough.
Because you were still experiencing these
Yes.
issues and they were greatly impacting your life, as I recall, when you
Yes.
came to me, right? And so
Yep.
I guess when you look at what you've done in the past compared to what your expectations were kind of coming in working with me, like what did that look like?
You basically made it so that I didn't have to do much. So that was a plus. A little bit of inner focus and getting in touch with myself, like you know, all pluses, but very, very little effort, very little work. Couple minutes in the morning, couple minutes at night, sort of just get in tune with your body and your mind and get on the same page, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was pretty much it.
And you were really consistent with the exercises that I asked you to do, recommended that you do outside of when we did our one-to-one session. So
Yes.
that's definitely one of the reasons why you had great successes. You really fully committed. And
Yep.
so when you originally kind of like, what were your perceptions of like coaching and hypnotherapy before you met me?
I didn't have a ton of experience. I'm probably like the average Canadian that you see it on TV. Kind of looks like a good, like, I had a Christmas party. Actually, we had a hypnotist come to our Christmas party, and I literally watched this person take control of 4 or 5 people on a stage, and it was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But besides that, that was it. No experience.
And so, in your honest opinion, did I take control of your mind and make you do things that you didn't want to do when we were working together?
No, none of that. There was no
Yeah.
fear. No fear. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The thing about, stage hypnotism is very different than hypnotherapy, and
Mhm.
people won't do what they wouldn't do without hypnosis. So
Mhm.
we can't control your mind. And that's interesting because, if we could control your mind, I'd be just like, okay, give me your account information. I'm just going to tap
Yeah.
into your bank account, your RSPs, all your savings,
Yeah.
which obviously we wouldn't do, right? That's unethical.
Yeah.
So we can't control. And that's one of the misconceptions out there is people think, oh, they're going to be able to control my mind. And that's
Mhm.
absolutely incorrect because there's a lot of hypnotherapists and hypnotists out there. And if we could control your mind, the world would look different. It would look very different, more positive, that's for sure, with
Yes.
everything that's been going on in the world these days. And so I guess for you, like our program included personalized self-hypnosis technique that I taught you on the first session. Now, how did you find that experience doing that exercise every day? And I guess how did that contribute, do you think, to your overall success?
So at first, uh, coming from I need to be in control sort of mentality leading up to this,
Mm-hmm,
I felt like I wasn't doing it right.
mm-hmm,
Uh, just because while I was doing it with you, I could feel there was a physical aspect of it that I
mm-hmm,
wasn't getting. But as time went on, when, like, say, if I missed a morning, I would do it late morning because I could feel it. So it was definitely
mm-hmm,
having an impact. The positive benefits were there. It's just that I had to let go of, oh, I'm expecting the same experience with you or with myself alone as I was with you. And it
mm-hmm,
wasn't that. Uh, and then it was just as literally, it was a super easy activity at bedtime, just telling yourself that this is what I want. This is my expectation, going through it properly and saying,
mm-hmm,
uh, if there's something that I need to be aware of, let me know in the morning.
mm-hmm.
And then when you wake up, I felt good. I felt fresh and clear headed, if you will.
Yeah.
I had moments where, like everybody, like it's not going to be all at once, but
Mm-hmm.
it helped. I noticed when I didn't do it, as soon as I did it, it was better. So
Yeah, and that's interesting. It's the subtle shifts and changes. And that's one thing that I explain and tell all my clients is letting go of all your expectations because
mhm,
expectations set us up for failure. And I know that you
mhm.
heard me say that
Yes.
probably 3 or 4 times in the month that we work together and,
Yes.
and just let things happen as they should because these problems aren't conscious because if they were conscious, you would have solved them 5, 6, 10 years ago, right?
Correct.
So with the work that we did with hypnotherapy and hypnosis, we're tapping into that unconscious mind, your superconscious mind, and
Mhm.
it does the work for you to get because it knows all the problems, it knows all the results. You just have to trust the process. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And so, in those 4 weeks, you saw some significant changes, and I guess when you look at how you've transformed your life over the last 6 weeks now, I guess it's been like, what are you most excited about for your future?
When I came to you, I was in a place where I didn't know if I could get out of it. And
Mm-hmm,
I feel like I'm out of it. Like I feel obviously that there's definitely work to be done, but I see the light, for lack of a better term. Like uh my level of optimism is definitely increased 100-fold. Because like I said, when I came to you, I was at the darkest and the bottom place I've ever been, right?
mm-hmm,
So just to have that hope is such a weight off the shoulders.
mm-hmm,
Like that's it. That bottom line, it was like you can be you again,
mm-hmm.
and it's priceless.
Yeah. And you were always you. There was just a barrier.
Yeah.
There's
Yes. Yeah.
blocks and that type of thing. And so I guess for you, how has your work that you took and you invested in you over the last 4 weeks, how has that affected your family, your relationship, your work? Like, has that affected, how would you say
Yes.
that's affected that?
Well, like I said, when I first came to you, we just took on a big contract with where I in like directly was going to have a world of responsibility added to my day, and I panicked and I was freaking, to be honest.
Mm-hmm,
And it's made this transition super smooth. Uh, I have a coworker that I just started working with. We're brand new, but even having the optimism of like not being negative and looking at even that as a positive, that wasn't me in the past. Like
mm-hmm,
trying to find the positive in every situation now is easier for
mm-hmm,
sure.
mm-hmm,
And like it's totally mind changing. I don't know how else to say it. Like it's just, and then the family thing, like, families are hard, families are stressful,
mm-hmm,
but I have two growing boys, and we struggle, but it's been better. Like even the changes that I've taken on, it's like talking to them, communicating with them better, trying to be calmer with them, so it's not just outburst. It's like, okay, like what's the underlying issue here? Let's try to figure it out together. So anytime I'm calm and sort of in control, everybody else around me is calm and relaxed.
Remember the trickle down effect, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
when we fix the hurt that's happening inside of us, it trickles down and affects everyone. And you have two young boys,
Mm-hmm.
and the work that you did over the last 4 weeks, 6 weeks, working with me has positively impacted your boys. You might not notice it right away, but it will definitely impact when they're a little bit older, when they're in their teens, adults, right? And
Yeah.
so that's amazing. Always gives me chills when I work with parents, and one of the things they say is, I don't want this, to pass on to my kids, because these are learned behaviors, patterns, habits, and kids pick it all up, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and so when you're looking at, like, if you were someone that was kind of contemplating whether or not to embark on this type of journey, like, what type of advice or insights would you offer them, based on your own experience of working with me?
Well, definitely you need to want it. I feel that. And that's where I was. Like, I can't say it enough. Like, I was in a bad spot. So you have to be open to it for sure. And put the work in. You have to be ready to take those. It's not a lot of time, but you have to do it. Take those 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, sleep on it. If you have 10 minutes in the middle of the day, just close your eyes and connect, sort of thing, if you will, right? And do the exercises. Uh, yeah. Don't go into it half-heartedly, because the first week I was still like, if you will, skeptical, or like, oh, what am I doing? I've never been down this path before. If you can avoid that, I think you'll get results faster, and the process is probably easier. So you're not shooting yourself in the foot, if you will. But even after our first session, something happened. Like, it was, I don't even know how to explain it, but you just, I felt it. I felt the imagery that was coming to mind. I remember one of the questions was like, take me back to a happy moment. And it was like something I have not thought about in 35 years. And it was like, wow, it's super strange. So super strange, but super good, you know?
That's the thing about this work. It's so powerful, and your mind knows exactly how to resolve these issues, and so I applaud you for committing and sticking with it. So you're not the only one that is skeptic coming in, but it's like, okay, well, I've already done all of these things and these haven't worked the way I wanted them to. So what else, do I have here?
Yeah.
And so the thing is, in the beginning, you had more expectations,
Sure.
on
Yeah.
what this should be like, look like, feel like, etc. And then as we work together, you realize, these expectations are serving me. I need to just let that go, just go with the flow, right? And so, and the more we let go of those expectations and be open to all possibilities, because this type of work truly opens you to anything and everything if you want change, right? And so if you were to look at, that single most valuable thing that you gained while working together over the 4 weeks in this anxiety relief program, what do you think that would be?
Hands down, it's that even on your darkest times, there's still hope.
Mhm.
You can still pull yourself out of it. You can still, you know, don't give up. That's it. Like, there's a light at the end of that tunnel. Just do a little bit of work, and you're there. You
Yeah,
can get there, I should say.
and that's a thing. And I know what just popped into my mind is insanity. You remember we talking about that? The definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We really have to realize that when we're in that loop and go, okay, this is not working. We need to change something, right? And that's the thing. When we address the issues where they started, Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what we do with hypnosis is you get amazing results. You committed, Simon, to the process. You did all the work. You know, I opened the door. I helped you. I was a guide. You did all
Mhm.
this work. And I applaud you because you got these results because of the work you did,
Yes.
not
Yes.
the work I did. You did this, right?
Well, I'm still grateful for you.
Yeah, well, I'm so
Yeah.
grateful for you. And
Yes.
and this goes to show you, you know, if you're watching this video and you're just like, oh, I don't know what to do, you know, this has been going on for a while. And, you know, why would this be any different?
Mhm.
You have to be open to change. You have to be open to trying something different. And if you want to feel better, you can feel better. And that's the thing is, all my clients get
Yes.
amazing results if they're committed. If you don't want to change, you're not going to change. So if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I wonder if Dawn can help me. I wonder if her process, I would encourage you to click on the link that's down below this video and contact me and book a free assessment call. And I'll ask you some questions and I'll find out then by the end of that call if I can help you or not. And
Yeah.
so, Simon, it's just been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I want to just my gratitude for you coming my way. And it's just thank you so much for your time and sharing your experience. You know, honestly, truthfully, and fully transparent, so that others can get a little bit more information about the work that we do here.
You're very welcome. And again, I appreciate everything.
You're
Thank you.
very, very welcome. Bye for now, everyone. Until the
Bye.
next success story.